Okay. Good afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
Very well. Good to see you. You look great.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I would like us to actually start right away. And I'm going to have some of my colleagues join in to also ask you some questions. Just to introduce myself, my name is Chioma Ezenwafor. I'm a journalist with Nigeria Info FM, a radio station in Port Harcourt. It's a top news and sports radio station.
I love Port Harcourt.
Yes. Have you been there before?
Oh, many, many times.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so that's great. And so I'll be having some of my colleagues, one from Cool FM and about two from Nigeria Info, my station as well, join us to ask you questions. I hope you're ready.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so while I wait for them to join on, I would just like us to start with asking what you've been up to. I know there's so much that happens in the life of celebrity gospel artists like you. So what can you update us with?
Well, a lot. So not only am I a gospel artist, but I have a food company, and I'm now some of my food product that's sold. That's one thing, relocating into a new home, doing lots of renovations, things of that nature. And I am in the process of releasing a new album.
Actually have listened to it. I got a copy and listened to it. And how has that been for you?
How do you like it?
Yes, yes. It's the Nigerian, we love that kind of that sound. That's the kind that we love to praise with, really.
Yes. It's been good. It's been good. The entire album is currently being mixed and mastered.
Okay.
So I'm excited to release. I haven't released an album in 6 years. So I'm excited to share this project with the world.
And we're excited to get to hear it because, like you said, 6 years. So what has happened, between the last time and now?
Just touring, traveling. And sometimes when you're on the road a lot, it's kind of difficult to get in the studio and start recording new material. So I had an opportunity to kind of slow down and unwind and do some other business ventures. And I'm not sure if you are aware, but my wife and I suddenly lost our 15-year-old daughter.
Sorry about that.
October the 22nd. So I'm coming up on the second year of her, the anniversary of her passing, which is next month. Yeah. And so this happened in 2019, and my life just really shut down. I couldn't function. I couldn't think. I couldn't write music. I couldn't do anything. I was just a mess, So, I've gotten back into the South, and I'm appreciative of the grace of God that He would continue to pour His music, allow me to borrow His music, and to be a distribution center, in the earth. So, and I'm grateful. I'm still going through my healing process, but I'm really excited to finally release this new sound.
That's so sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. And I'm okay. Let me just step aside talking about music for a while to talk about her loss. What's helped you heal as we mark the second anniversary of it?
one thing that's been helping me is, buying a new home, kind of starting over, starting fresh, lots and lots of memories in the previous home. And that's one thing that we've been able to do, just, surround myself with nature and, a lot of praying. Another thing that I found comfort in is just encouraging those who have also experienced loss, whether it's through loved ones, through COVID, or, the death of their child, or, whatever the case may be. I found some healing and some comfort in, being able to minister to others who
Yes.
are going through that similar pain. So, and interesting thing is, when I started ministering healing to other people, the songs started coming back. The music started coming back and filling my heart and filling my mind up with more music. It's
Are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you now. Okay.
It looks like I still have full bars on my phone, so maybe you lost your connection on your end.
Okay. Is the internet, the connection is fluctuating? It's fluctuating and I can't hear you anymore. Can you say something? Let me know if it's better.
1 2 1 2.
Yes, it's better
How's
now.
that?
Working now.
Okay, good. I'm not sure. What was the last thing you heard me say?
Okay, you were talking about how you've been able to heal almost 2 years, and you talked about ministering to others, and I think that's about where, and
Okay.
how your music flow started getting back when you started doing that.
Yeah.
So I think I lost that recording, so I don't know if you can repeat yourself again.
Repeat that question.
Okay, the question was how you've been able to heal following the loss of your 15-year-old daughter.
Yeah, a few ways. Number one, moving into a new home. Lots of memories in the previous home. And so now I'm surrounded by a lot of, trees, nature. And so being able to sit outside and just, being a new environment. Another thing that is happening is that I've been able to minister healing to those who have experienced loss, whether they lost their child or another family member, or loved ones, whether it's through COVID or other ways. And the interesting thing is that when I began to encourage others and minister healing to others, that's when the songs started coming back. I started hearing more melodies and lyrics and things like that. So that was a very interesting thing. I remember I was traveling with Benny Hinn as his worship leader for about 2.5, almost 3 years. And he said this to me once. He said, Micah, your songs will never minister to anyone else if they don't first minister to you.
Mm.
And so I thought that was and now in this season that I'm in, and the season that I've gone through, that came back to my mind. And now I am literally experiencing that moment, where I'm able to minister to others first before my music can even minister to me. So I'm really excited to share this music.
Now let's talk about your multi-octave vocal range. Researching about you, yes, researching about you, I'm learning that you have the stamina to hold notes for lengths of time without wavering in pitch or tone. How did you when you talk about discovering your gift and talent, at what age did this happen for you that you realized that this is extraordinary?
I'm going to be very honest. Before I was a recording artist, I was a track and field athlete. And so I think my stamina and my wind capacity, I'm able to, and also I love swimming, doing cardio exercises. And so if you understand about, different exercise techniques, cardio builds your wind. And so I have this ability to extend long notes. And even when I'm swimming, I can stay underwater almost 2 minutes.
Okay, so for people trying to build their vocals,
that's the 2 minutes yet.
Yes, I have it.
I haven't gotten to 2 minutes yet, but I'm getting there.
Whoa. The internet should cooperate with me today. It's breaking again.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So I was saying that swimming as well, I haven't gotten to my 2 minute time frame yet, but I can stay underwater for well over a minute without having to come up for air. So, just strengthening your lungs, and that's a great way to be able to sustain those notes.
Wow. So for those building vocals, would you advise that? Would you advise that people go underwater and do a lot of breath control to that extent? Does it work?
You froze for a second.
Oh, really? Okay. So I was asking for those building their vocals, like I'm trying to do mine. I don't know anything about vocals. So also for those dabbling into it or trying to build theirs. So would you, okay, I have my colleague joining now. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I have my colleague Constance Mega joining now, and she's also going to be asking questions. All right, so you just mentioned that you can do breath controls underwater and like hold your breath for long periods of time. Would you advise that for people trying to build theirs as well?
Swimming is a great way. Riding a bicycle is a good way to build your lung capacity, as well as jogging. If you're not a jogger, you're walking at a fast pace. So anything that has to do with cardio, it can help strengthen your lung capacity. It doesn't mean it's going to help you sing better, because I don't know if you have even
I get it.
You have a musical ability or not, but
I get it. I do.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm also aware that during the pandemic, where a lot of people, hi Constance.
Hello, Constance, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice to meet you, Micah.
Likewise. She's a very pretty girl.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I know that during the pandemic that you and your wife had to, you inspired us with how you handled the pandemic where a lot of people were complaining, expand your brand by starting a business. Tell us about that.
For about close to 3 years, we opened our first restaurant, cafe. And so not only am I, singer, musician, recording artist, actor, and model, but I'm also a self-acclaimed chef. So, so yeah, we opened our own restaurant, the very first one, and then we opened a second location in another state where my wife's parents were managing it. And so our food brand began to expand. And this was way before the pandemic, before COVID, anything.
Okay.
It was after the death of my daughter. After the death of my daughter is when we end up closing the restaurants. We were just emotionally a wreck and couldn't handle the day-to-day operations. And so we pivot and begin to partner with local grocery stores to get our products on the shelves. So now we're moving now into the marketplace. At some point, we could probably open another restaurant, but I think that it's just probably not a good time with everything that's going on right now, COVID and things like that. So many restaurants are closing. Tremendous loss.
Yes.
And so I think it was also God's protection over us after losing our daughter, and then to lose the restaurant. We didn't have to lose the restaurant. We actually closed it before COVID even happened.
Okay.
So I felt like that was God's mercy, covering us and that during that very difficult time of our life.
Okay, so what advice would you have for business owners who's gone through pandemic for 2020 and this is 2021? Some haven't even recovered. What have you learned when it comes to business and handling disaster or situations like this?
Number one, be sure that you know and understand the industry that you're in. I think that it's extremely important, and you have to become very, very creative in the digital world. You have to, whether that's advertising on social media, television. Now that people are home more, lots of people are listening to traditional radio stations more. Yes. And so I think these are the areas that you should target to, build your brand as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Another thing is, if you are providing products, whether it's clothing or food or what have you, I think that is very important to build your maybe delivery service, like your Ubers, Grubhub, things like that, because we have DoorDash is something that we do here, where people will order from a restaurant, and DoorDash, the company DoorDash, will pick it up and deliver it to your customers. So those are very creative things that I would encourage people to really look into ways to expanding your business, but you have to be very creative in the digital community.
Okay, so I know you do all of this with your wife, right?
Yes.
So what's the husband and wife team like? Because not everyone can do business with your wife. So what's it like for you?
We've been doing this for a very long time. When I became a recording artist, I was also modeling and acting many years before I was a recording artist. And my wife secretly entered my name into a singing competition and didn't tell me. And
Wow.
so I ended up going and I won. And so after that, I got an invitation to sing at the Potter's House, Bishop T.D. Jakes Church in Dallas, Texas. And I did his morning services. I think it was one at 9 a.m. and then the other at 11. And after, the services, he called me to his office and offered me a recording contract on the spot with his record company.
Wow.
And so that's how Micah Stampley, the artist, came to the forefront. So the acting and the modeling stopped for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so the music took over, and I needed help. My wife is a registered nurse by profession, labor and delivery nurse. And so this music industry, you guys know that this entertainment world can be very shady.
Yeah.
So, and very cliquish politics, and so I needed someone that I can trust. So she jumped in. She never worked in the entertainment world ever in her life. And she learned. She's a very fast learner. She just, jumped right in, and she became my manager. So I call her the wifeager.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's worked out so well.
Yeah.
Hasn't
And
it?
yeah. So together we build a legacy for our children, an inheritance. And my wife is an incredible songwriter. So the song that you have, she actually wrote that song.
Beautiful. Wow. Okay, so now this is really important because right now in the social media space in Nigeria, we have a lot of people implying that marriage is a scam. And because so many celebrities and their marriages are out there in the social media space, and so many people are saying so many things about celebrity marriages. What do you say?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
In the Nigerian social media space, so much has happened with celebrity marriages in recent times. Can you hear me?
There's some noise in the background. Someone is talking, and so I'm having a hard time hearing.
Okay. Constance, okay.
I think it's the radio here.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so you can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was saying that in the Nigerian social media space, currently we've had lots of drama like this September alone when it comes to celebrity marriages and relationships. It hasn't really been going well, as long as we understand, because so many of them have come on social media to banter, throw shades, and stuff like that. And it's got so many people thinking that marriage is a scam. What do you say?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question.
Yes, it is.
There can be a number of things, a number of reasons why marriages are struggling or may not work out. Number one, Satan hates marriage. That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
Number two is sometimes we marry people because we fall in love with individuals, but that person may not necessarily be a God design for you. And so I would say this all the time to settings with young men who want to be married and things like that. And I would say this to them: you want to be sure that if you consider yourself a Adam, you want to be sure that you marry your Eve. Because if you marry somebody else's Eve, you are unequally yoked. So it's very, very important that we wait on God and allow God to, because a lot of times people rush into relationships and they fall in love with someone and may not even be the right person for them. And as a people, Black people in general, we are extremely loyal. And sometimes our loyalty can become our slavery. Yeah. So, another thing as it relates to marriage, we just have to be sure that, and you know, I do realize that my wife and I are a rare example. Not many husbands and wives can work together in business, and that's whether you're pastors or whatever the case may be. A lot of times it's best to separate and not work together. You know, I mean, still, Heidi and I, we get in the kitchen together. I have my way of doing things. She has her way of doing things. And sometimes we just don't get along in the kitchen. But I, you know, if she wants me to take care of, like, let's say the protein, or then I'll say, you go ahead and take care of your sides, whatever you're gonna do, your sauces and your gravies or whatever, and then I'll come in and I'll do my thing. But we're not gonna be in the kitchen together. So, so you just gotta know how to compromise. You know, you gotta figure that out.
Okay, Constance, you have questions for him?
Yeah, I actually do. I don't know if my phone fell off. Okay, yeah, sorry. Oh, okay. Really nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Having this chit chat with you. Thank you, Chioma, for inviting me to this interview with Micah. Okay, so over time, I think when the experience started in Nigeria, you know the experience, right? So it kind of like became, at some point, you know, it became like every experience, there should be a Micah Stampley there. You know? All right. So first of all, I want to know, how was coming to the experience for you for the very first time?
Oh my gosh, it was insane. I honestly, that the experience was so energized. It was just something that, and I think the first time, and you know, I was there 10 years straight in a row for 10 years. Yeah. So Pastor Paul, I met Pastor Paul out of Harrison in Dallas, Texas, at T.D. Jakes Church. As a matter of fact, his daughter, Sarah, was getting married, and Kelly Price and I were doing a duet for her wedding. And that's where I met Pastor Paul. And he said to me, he said, hey, I have this event in Nigeria. And he asked me, have you ever been to Nigeria? I said, yes, many years ago, back in 2001, 2002. My first experience was in Port Harcourt. And I was there with a pastor from the States, and we were visiting ministries there. And so that was my first encounter of Nigeria, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The culture, the people, the jollof, the fufu.
And a lot has changed, actually.
I enjoyed it. Hey, my sister.
A lot has actually changed.
So it was a great experience, And so that's where I met Pastor Paul out of Harrison, and he invited me to the experience. It wasn't as large then as it is now.
Yes.
But my God, it was just an incredible moment. And, you know, I came in, I just let God do what he does through me. And for some reason, they loved it, and they kept inviting me back for a whole decade.
Wow, that's incredible. Because for a long time, I discovered that every experience, I'm always looking forward to a Micah Stampley, because he was just like always there. And I was like, okay, what's happening? Is it like there's a contract or something? Okay, good to know. All right, so I was listening to the new song, Chioma shared with me, Come See.
Yes.
And you said your wife wrote that?
Yes.
How come? It has this Nigerian feel to it.
I said that was the first thing I told you.
Is it with the whole Nigerian visit? So how come she's the one that wrote that?
You know, I mean, we travel the world, literally. I think we have literally been on every continent on the planet, doing concerts and ministering. I I'm pretty sure we have.
Mm.
And we've learned and developed all sorts of sounds from different cultures. And so my identity is not one thing, because my view of music is a world view. And so you will hear Irish stuff, Irish influences in my music, African influences, British, or whatever the case may be. You will always hear different flares and other flavors of music. And it's like a melting pot for me, different cultures. And so Heidi and I both, we love Africa. And, you know, it's something about African music that just makes you move differently. And it just takes over your body. And this song has that feel. So when Heidi, actually, when she came to me and told me that she had a new song she wanted me to hear, we were in Nigeria.
Oh.
We were in Nigeria when she let me hear that song.
So what was that?
My wife. My wife, Heidi.
Sorry about that. Some crazy colleagues around. Okay, I was asking when was that? You said you listened to the song when you were both in Nigeria.
Oh, it was probably almost 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, almost 3 years ago. This was before my daughter passed away. So her anniversary of her passing is next month, October the 22nd. She passed away in 2019. So we're coming up on the second year. So yeah, she wrote this song prior to that. So it had to be maybe almost 3 years. We've been sitting and waiting to release this song.
Wow.
So
when you mentioned your, sorry, I was gonna just quickly say I'm sorry to hear about your daughter's passing.
Thank you.
Yeah, all the same, we know she's in a good place.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I got her to sing 3 seconds of a song on this new album.
Oh, wow.
And she never did it before. I have 9 albums. And so she would never like to sing in front of people, but that's where she left her daddy, her voice.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Okay. Constance, are you?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I think I got a little emotional. Sorry. Go on with your question. Sorry.
Yes. I was going to ask what next as we wrap up. What's next for Micah Stampley and the brand?
Just continuing to build this food company, releasing this new music, and some other things that I'd like to get back into the fashion world, back into the acting space. Also, there is a production, almost like a theater production that we're working on, and hopefully I can, get that done and fund it. Things like that, so that we can get on the road and do that, present that as well.
Okay, so I would have loved to talk about your collaborations, but let's just stay with the one with Sinach. And what was the experience? What was that experience like?
What experience? Say it again.
Collaborating with a Nigerian Gospel Artiste here, Sinach.
Yes.
What was that like?
I've done collaborations. I've done collaborations with Nathaniel Bassey, Frank Edwards, And now Sanach. So
Yeah.
she called me once and said, "Hey, I'm doing an album with some of my closest friends, and I want to see if you will be a part of it." And I said, "Absolutely." And then I asked her, I said, "Can I play the organ on this song?" And she was like, "Please, go ahead, please, please." So I had an opportunity to play the organ, and you will hear that as well. Yeah, Nathaniel and I did Onishe Yanu, you're the God of awesome wonders, tasted of your power. Yeah.
Powerful song.
I'm trying that. Baba, yay, blessed be your holy name. So that's me and Frank Edwards. So I love collaborating with Nigerian artists. It's a joy.
Yeah. So who is next? Since you love it.
For me, I have to be strategic when I choose to do a collaboration because our voices need to be compatible.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
So that's a thing.
Say it again.
Sorry, I was asking if that's a thing, voices being compatible.
I think that it's important. Yeah, I think that is important that you because you want to be able to blend well. I'll tell you who I absolutely love, and if she ever sees this interview, she will probably be shocked. I've never met her, but I think that she is awesome. Mercy Chinwo.
Mercy Chinwo. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I messed up her last name.
Yes.
No, but it's okay.
She is so dope.
Incredible.
She's so dope. I'm like, who is this lady?
Yeah,
she's amazing.
She is.
I love her music. I love her music.
Okay,
so a collaboration with her would also go really, really well.
Yes, it will. Yes. Okay, so Micah Stampley, thank you so much for chit-chatting with us. And I hope it's okay. We can do so much with this content. We're going to have it on air, on radio. We're also going to do articles with it and put it out on our website. I hope that's fine with you.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for making time for this interview.
And Constance, it was a joy meeting you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
She sings, by the way. Constance, you didn't talk about your song and that you sing.
Oh, well, we're here to talk about Micah, so.
Oh, well, you gotta let me hear. You gotta sing something before we leave.
Yes.
Onishe Iyanu, you're the God of awesome wonders. I've tasted of your power.
Wow.
She sings. Her husband plays what does he play again? One of the instruments?
Keyboard. He tries with the guitar, bass, and drums. Yeah.
She just had a baby, and her baby's name is Light.
Oh.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Girl or boy?
Thank you very much. A girl.
Awesome. Oh, by the way, I'll be in Warri on November the 19th.
Ooh. This year?
Yep.
Yes, this year.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys can come out.
Yes. But Harcourt and Warri is not far at all.
Warri, okay. It's not far. It's actually close by.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. So thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Now send our love to your wife and the rest of your team. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you
so
very much. Take care.
Blessings, guys. Take care.
Yeah. Bye.